Hello, and welcome to the Winds of Windhelm podcast, where we're going to talk about all things Windhelm. We're going to talk about video game stuff, what it's like being video game developers, and all of that fun stuff. So, first things first, we have been playing Kingdom Hearts, and that is my favorite game of all time. And this is Gavin's first time playing Kingdom Hearts 1. So, what do you think? What do you think about it?
Yeah, so Kingdom Hearts 1. I had never played it before, obviously. Never even really heard about the Kingdom Hearts games. I had heard of, like, Epic Mickey and stuff like that. So, it wasn't off the table for me to, like, play, but I had just never known what Kingdom Hearts was. So when I first started playing it, of course, I really did not enjoy it, just because it wasn't my kind of game. But then, ironically, after I played Elden Ring, I enjoyed Elden Ring, and then I played Kingdom Hearts 1 again, and then I was like, man, this game is just like Elden Ring, and then I just picked it up just like that, like super easy. So yeah, this playthrough has actually inspired a few things in terms of like gameplay elements and stuff like that on the game, on Windhelm, so yeah, so you can look forward to seeing some stuff like that, and I just think that older games are just genuinely better, so good tips.
What do you think it has inspired?
Probably the actual combat itself. It definitely has inspired. I don't want Garth, like when you're fighting, to be so floaty like Sora is, because Sora has lots of attacks that you can just like kind of fly through the air and do attacks like that. It's not really going to be a hack and slash game, but the combat definitely is influenced by Kingdom Hearts, just because it is the I guess just the essence of how combat is, because it's got a lock-on system, but not nearly as in-depth as Kingdom Hearts. It's just kind of a general combat system that's the same. So yeah, combat definitely has been influenced for sure. And then I guess the kind of the item drops, the way items have dropped, things like that, like how you actually get pickups, like a classic kind of pickup.
That's so true. I totally forgot that wasn't even necessarily implemented into Windhelm yet until we played Kingdom Hearts, and then that was really inspired by it. And yeah, playing Kingdom Hearts while developing Windhelm has brought up a lot of questions. Item drops being the biggest one, and then also how you gain experience, because we have had multiple conversations about that for Windhelm, because how you gain experience in Kingdom Hearts 1, it's a certain number per each enemy, and so that led to a lot of conversations about how we're going to systemize how you gain experience in Windhelm, and of course the item drops, because in Kingdom Hearts, if you don't know, at least in Kingdom Hearts 1, enemies just drop health bubbles, they drop magic bubbles, and they can drop items randomly depending on what enemy they are. They carry different items
and money.
Oh yeah, they drop money balls too. So
yeah, like the XP actually. So I've been kind of going back and forth. Right now, the way that I have it implemented is it's kind of strange. I think that I just kind of took that inspiration from Kingdom Hearts, the way that money is dropped, and it's actually XP orbs. But I think I'm going to change that, because there's a potential. So if, let's say you beat a big boss, there's a potential that you could lose that, because let's say I think that it's by default a 600 seconds, so it's either 5 minutes, I believe that's 600 seconds. It's a despawn timer. So basically, if you killed a big boss, then you could literally just walk away or something, and then that would despawn. And of course, that would not be very good. That sucks. So
yeah, that would be so. That's kind of like Elden Ring with the, what are they called, runes or whatever that they drop. That reminds me of that. But
gosh, I haven't played that game in forever now. But yeah, it's kind of the same.
Yeah, but it's kind of like that in Kingdom Hearts 1, because even though they don't drop experience points, you just obtain the experience points. What they do drop despawns pretty quickly, and if you're killing a bunch of enemies at once, and then there's all this stuff to go run around and grab, you're like running towards the magic and being like, oh my gosh, don't despawn, and waiting for it, running towards it, and sometimes it disappears before you get there. But the items never despawn in Kingdom Hearts. So if they drop an item, it doesn't go away unless you leave the area. So, which is nice because if you're busy and you can't go pick it up, it's not going to go away.
Yeah, that might be something I have to rethink and implement. I mean, obviously as time goes on, and I'm actually feeling like it's a real game at this point now because the combat system's almost done. I mean, at least like the base combat system's almost done. I can actually like fight enemies and feel how it feels to actually defeat some stuff. So it's pretty awesome because I can actually feel those gameplay mechanics, and I just think like, how would I want this to work, and how can I make it smarter? How can I make it better? Stuff like that. So yeah.
Even though Kingdom Hearts, they do drop money, the Heartless do. I don't like that as a concept, and I've never really liked that as a concept for video games where the enemies drop money, especially if there's something like Heartless or, you know, like some sort of animal kind of thing. I like how you have it in Windhelm, where there's just coins that lay around that you go collect. I like that better. Or, you know, you go and do something for an NPC and they give you money for doing a task. I like that so much better. Or you can find chests with money in it. All of that so much better than killing an enemy and getting money from it, because it just like, I don't know. That never felt right to me. It feels wrong.
At that point, it's like if you kill an enemy, it's like, why do they have money on them?
Exactly.
Like bosses, I can understand. I think like, I mean, it's like, well, they've killed, you know, a bunch of people. That's kind of like the whole scenario. But like a bunch of knights went in there and, you know, tried to kill the boss, and the boss got them instead, and, you know, they take their money. That's kind of a believable scenario. But yeah, just like little monsters. I mean, I might throw in like a little coin or two in there just to be like, oh, he had a coin for some reason, like something.
Yeah, I guess so.
Something like that. But
I'm thinking about the chompers that you have in the game. We should grab the little thing. But anyways, I'm thinking about the chompers and like, what are they doing with money? They don't have economics. Like, come on. So, also, the Game Awards just happened. So, I wanted to get your thoughts on who won what. So, I think you have it pulled up over there.
Yeah, let's pull it up. So, I've got...
So, pull up all the winners and just, like, go through it and we'll...
All right. So...
comment on it.
Let's see. So let's see the winners here. I know that we had talked about Cyberpunk getting the best ongoing game, even though it doesn't have any updates anymore, and I thought that was really funny. Alright. So. Alright, Game of the Year. So, Baldur's Gate 3, obviously, won Game of the Year. I could have told you that was going to happen.
Everyone expected that one to sweep up, so moving on.
Yeah. I'll talk about the other candidates if we want to really quick. But Alan Wake 2, never played it. I know it's a good story game. It's I don't know too much about it actually, but I do know that the actual technical aspects of Alan Wake have been really good. So that's definitely why they were a candidate. Spider-Man 2, obviously good choice. Resident Evil 4, the remake, another solid game, of course. It's just a remake, though, so I didn't really anticipate it getting Game of the Year. Mario Brothers Wonder, it's alright. Me and Kirsten played a little bit of it when I had a GameStop. Can't really say that the whole game's a Game of the Year, just because it's just like the Mario Brothers on the Nintendo DS rebooted and added some new stuff and graphics and stuff. But
I feel like Game of the Year needs to be something original. Like, if you throw a Mario game on there, like, I love Mario, it will always have a classic feel, it will always be fun to play, but it's copy and pasted basically every time. So yeah, I understand why that didn't win.
Yeah, I mean, it's of all the contenders here, especially Tears of the Kingdom, since they were the last one. Tears of the Kingdom was... They really could have done so much better with Tears of the Kingdom. Like, that's just my personal opinion.
That's going to be a really controversial
It's probably a controversial topic, but they just had so much potential. Well, so obviously, I'll say this now, so that people can say, oh, people are going to say that I copied, Tears of the Kingdom or whatever. But I actually started development on the game and had the idea and everything trademarked before Nintendo put out any trailers or anything for Tears of the Kingdom, so no one actually knew what the game was about. So, there's that. But anyways, that's besides the point. So Tears of the Kingdom, the whole floating island ordeal and the upheaval or whatever, they could have just done so much better job, I think. Like, I don't know. I still haven't even finished the game, and it's been out for months. And normally, if it was Breath of the Wild, I'd have finished it 3 times already. It's just, I don't know. I just didn't really connect with Tears of the Kingdom as much as I did Breath of the Wild. I don't know. Probably personal opinion there, but, you know. Just the floating islands and stuff, they just didn't do much with them. All they did was just take the dungeons and then to put them on the islands, and then they called it a day. Like, they copied Breath of the Wild's map over, put some islands in the sky, and then just added, like, just changed some locations, and then put dungeons in the sky and underground, and that was it. So, you know, Baldur's Gate 3 I've heard is really good, though, and it actually looked like a really good game. And I know it's like D&D, but... yeah, but anyway, like I said, in terms of the games that actually were here on the list, you can see a little bit of them here up on the screen here, but...
well, not if you're a listener, so we apologize.
Well, on the screen, you know, all the ones we read, pretty much all of them are copy and pastes besides Baldur's Gate 3. Well, I mean, think about it, though. Well, I mean, Alan Wake 2 is just a sequel to Alan Wake 1. Resident Evil 4 is a remake. Super Mario Bros. Wonder is pretty much a remake. And Tears of the Kingdom is literally copy and pasted. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure Baldur's Gate 3 was built from the ground up anyways. It wasn't from the same engine or anything, or map or anything like that. So, and then, you know, of course, Spider-Man 2 is just a sequel as well. So
what that tells me is that people really want original games.
Yeah.
And they want something that is fresh. So people appreciate fresh games.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay. So now I'll do best game direction. So Alan Wake 2 actually won that one. So the contenders for this one was Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2. Excuse me. Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and Tears of the Kingdom.
It's the same lineup.
It's pretty much the same lineup. So, I mean, nothing I can really say about that one. Like I said, I haven't played Alan Wake 2, so... Best narrative, Alan Wake 2. Wow, Cyberpunk is actually on this list, so I'll read all the ones for best narrative. They were Alan Wake 2, which was the winner, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, so they're specifying... I don't know if this means it's just the DLC or it's the game. I'm assuming it's the game and the DLC both together.
I think they're specifying it's just the DLC.
I'll have to finish that then, because I haven't even gotten to the DLC yet. I'm not a high enough level. Final Fantasy, I get that 16. I heard that one was pretty good, actually. Someone said that was pretty good. And then Spider-Man 2. So, yeah, like I said, narrative, I mean, that's their entire, like... Their whole thing. It's Epic Games that published it actually too. So,
what's cool though is I feel like Windhelm could win all of these one day if it ever got big enough.
I'm hoping so.
The narrative of Windhelm is going to be really good.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, we're really putting in a lot of good work to that and making sure it's going to be really good. So also, best art direction, Alan Wake 2 won for that as well. So, and then there was...
oh, there's some really good contenders, though.
Yeah, these are a little different.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, though, this is something that Tears of the Kingdom really should have... I don't know if it should have won, but it probably could have won over Alan Wake, honestly. But Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P? I've never even heard of that before. Have you?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, well, both of those games look beautiful, so...
And then let's see, Super Mario Bros. Wonder was also on the option, and Tears of the Kingdom was also art direction.
Tears of the Kingdom makes sense to me. Super Mario Bros. Wonder being in best art direction, does that make sense to you?
It says for outstanding creative and or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. It's the same exact Mario Brothers game, except just in a 2.5D. So.
Well, that actually is impressive. Yeah. I get with that. I stand behind that. Okay. What's next?
All right. So let's see. I guess that's it.
No,
it's not. No, it's not. Okay, so best score and music. Okay, this one's understandable completely. Square Enix.
Oh, yeah.
Square Enix out here with Final Fantasy 16. The composer is Masayoshi Soken. I think that he has done all of the all the Final Fantasies, but I'm not too sure. I'll have to look
know.
into that. But the options were Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Hi-Fi Rush, and Tears of the Kingdom. So yeah, Square Enix just slaps every single time they make a soundtrack. I'll give credit where credit is due.
So what do you think, though? You could take a second to talk about Windhelm's music.
Yeah. So I don't know if any of you all saw on our TikTok, but or actually YouTube and TikTok, but we put out a video of just me screwing around with a PVC pipe and figuring out that it could be a really good song for the game. And then I just spent like a few hours and ended up making one of the songs for one of the locations in the game. So I thought that was really interesting. And so the sound direction I'm trying to go for the game is, I want it to be memorable, kind of like Skyrim and Minecraft. Like, no one really knows the names of the songs in like Minecraft, but like a lot of people know them in Skyrim because I actually will listen to that while I work on the game. But I kind of want to go for that. I'm going for a medieval, like just fantasy vibe. A lot of games just kind of lose their own, I guess, their own like style as they're going through the game, because I guess where there's the separation between the music development team and the actual creative team that make the game, like the dev team, they lose that little spark that they put in there. So since it's just me and Kirsten doing it, we were really intertwined with the music and the feel of the game and just everything. And then as time goes on and we get better at making music and get better at making the game, like we'll change that and adjust it accordingly as well. So I just want it to be a good, solid musical experience.
Yeah, it's been really fun. And one thing that we've been trying to do is identify what emotions are in what place, or what kind of sounds go with the place, because that's kind of the only themes that we've been working on is place themes, because I also want to have character themes too, because Kingdom Hearts does that. Like when Kairi is on the screen and you're having a moment with Kairi, it's Kairi's theme song that plays. And I would like to have some like that with some characters and whatever, but more generally we've just been working on place themes. And so like the PVC one is actually for Grimsby Wetlands, which is one of the first places that you go to, and it's a swamp, so the pipe sound actually just fits it very beautifully, fits it very wonderfully. And a lot of the other music that we've been doing for the game is a lot of like wind instruments, a lot of wind, a lot of chimes, with some of the hardier drums or more like percussion. And it's been really fun, and it's been challenging because neither one of us have any background in music, which I probably shouldn't say because it's going to be so obvious, but it's been really fun. And as we get into the game as well, we actually are going to have a musician come in and help us create some of the songs and some of the music, and he's going to round out a lot of the songs that we already have too, and just make it, just make it really good, because music is really important to both me and Gavin when it comes to games. Like being able to sit and listen to a game soundtrack when you're doing something else is something that we both really connect with, and so it'd be cool that if people could do that with Windhelm, that'd be awesome. But anyways, music is just so important in games. Like, it really is.
Yeah, one last thing I'll say about the music before we continue on looking at the rest of these. So, I think that the only games recently that I have played that actually really encompass like an open world, when it is an open world scenario game, but when they encompass like their music and do just like little sound cues here and there to like kind of show that you're like, just give you, you're free, you can do whatever you want, it's open, go explore. Breath of the Wild did that phenomenally. I actually did restart a save on there just right before Tears of the Kingdom came out, just to play it again, just so I could get that feeling again, and it really just did a good job. I want to do that in our game too. I want to make sure that people are also, just when they're walking around, just some nice ambient cues, just to pique your interest and just keep you looking around and make sure that you're in an open world and the world is yours. So, yeah, so we can continue going on here. So let's see. Best audio design. So this is recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. So this is a little bit different than the, I forgot what the other one was actually. The other one was best score and music. So that's overall, and then the design of the audio. So this one actually was Hi-Fi Rush. So yeah, I had heard about this one pretty good. The options here were, or the voting here was Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, Hi-Fi Rush, Spider-Man 2, and Resident Evil 4. So, you know.
Honestly, though, the Spider-Man games have always had, going back to score and music, the Spider-Man games have always had a good score and music. Because, like, I actually have downloaded many songs from the first Spider-Man game and Miles Morales. I haven't played Spider-Man 2, but I'm sure it's epic. It's so good.
Yeah, again here, Resident Evil 4 and Dead Space were both remakes, so the music there is a little, it's not, they can't really, I don't even know why they were even nominated for Best Audio Design, because it's just old. I mean, it's they just used the same songs and then remade them, so, you know. Alright, so, but yeah, Hi-Fi Rush. Let's see. What else? Okay, Best Performance. Oh, this is actually really interesting.
Oh, that's so fun.
Didn't know that they were doing actual people. That's really cool.
Well, Kevin Miller's totally going to win for Windhelm for us. So.
I hope so. That would be phenomenal. So, Ben Starr was, I guess, the main character in Final Fantasy 16. Cameron Monaghan, so everybody knows him from... He's in a few TV shows, but mainly he does the Star Wars Jedi Survivor games, and he always wants his poncho. There's also Idris Elba, which he's Charles Miner in The Office, and he is also Solomon Reed from the Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty DLC. Haven't gotten to that point yet, but I saw some actual trailers and stuff with him in it, and it looks really good. So
we were just watching the episode of The Office with him as Charles Miner, and that episode was actually produced by him. And I did not know that. I just noticed that today, and I was like, that is so cool. He produced it.
Yeah, that's really funny. Yeah.
With Jim wearing the tux and being really classy.
Okay.
Classy enough.
Yeah. So, Melanie Liburd from Alan Wake 2. So, I'm assuming that she is the female lead in that game. Because, like I said, I haven't played Alan Wake 2, but I don't know, after all these votings and things, I may have to.
Yeah.
I think that I actually may have it for free from one of my subscriptions. But Neil Newbin from Baldur's Gate 3, so I'm assuming he's probably the main character, or, secondary character. He won this for best performance, and then Yuri Lowenthal for Spider-Man 2. So I actually don't know who he plays, but yeah. Let's continue. Let's see. Innovation in accessibility. So this is actually something we can talk about for Windhelm as well.
Yeah.
So,
of course, Forza would win. That actually makes complete sense.
Yeah, so I'll read these, and then we can talk about how we're actually going to do like accessibility in Windhelm, because I just feel like that would be a good thing to talk about. But yeah, so the options here were Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, which I believe is a new Forza game. I think that Forza 4 Horizon or something was like the last one, but Forza Motorsport won the accessibility category. Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, and Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 and Mortal Kombat 1 was completely solid choices here, actually. So, Spider-Man probably was close too, because they actually have a lot of good accessibility settings. But Mortal Kombat 1, Street Fighter 6, I know you could actually use the accessibility controller that PlayStation just came out with. So that was actually really awesome. So, yeah, if you don't know what the accessibility controller is, you should totally go look at it, because it's a very, very cool thing that PlayStation has released. But so yeah, so the way that I want to do accessibility in Windhelm is I actually want to pretty much implement actually what most industries have been doing, which is of course button remapping, things like that, changing up controller schemes. So let's say if someone wanted to play with there's just like the small handheld controllers that you can get that are wired for accessibility controls. I basically just want to ease the controller changing process. So actually, I didn't even think about this until now, but since it's going to be on Steam anyways, it's okay, because Steam will automatically detect what controller you're using, and then you can do remappings through Steam. So I actually may not have to handle that, but I will handle as much as I can. I want to do colorblind filters, of course, for the game. So people that are colorblind, they'll be able to play and actually see everything. What else do I want to do? At this point, that's all I'm thinking about, just because I kind of put myself on the spot thinking about it. But yeah, I do want to include as many people as we possibly can into the game. And of course, we'll have probably the colorblind stuff and probably the controller remapping, things like that on release, and then as time goes on and we get more suggestions, I can add more things. But that's the bare minimum that I want to start with, and like I said, we'll add more things as time goes on and kind of figure out what kind of way we need to go for accessibility. But,
yeah, honestly, that'd be a good thing for anyone who's watching or listening to give suggestions on, because accessibility is really important to both of us, because we both have people in our families that need stuff like that. So yeah, definitely really important. So that's a good reminder.
Yeah. Wow, this is a pleasant surprise. So, games for impact. So, it says, for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Alright, so the options here are A Space for the Unbound, Chance of Sinar, Goodbye Volcano High, Chia, Terra Nil, and Vinba. So, all these are indie games, it looks like. I have nothing against indie games, obviously, since we're making an indie game. Chia is actually a phenomenal game. So, I actually waited for that release on PlayStation Plus, because the day that it came out, it was actually a free release for PlayStation Plus users. The game's awesome. It's got a really good style, really good story, and it's like family.
Very unique.
Yeah, it's very, very unique, and it has a little bit of details of like Breath of the Wild, like you have a glider and things like that, but it's not nearly the same. You can climb up pretty much any trees and stuff like that, and it's got like a classic feel to it. It's a very awesome experience, and I highly suggest anyone who has PlayStation Plus and can get it. It's just a really, really good game. But it's actually made based on a real place. I forgot what it actually is, but it's like the Cayman Islands or something like that, and it's just it has the message of like how much family matters and how much you should stick together and stuff like that.
So beautiful.
Yeah, and it's a really, really good story. I think I've only gotten like a quarter of the way through it. I just got so much stuff, so many games to play, but
it is, and it has been. I mean, I can speak for Gavin here, because he's been talking about this game for what feels like 2 years, maybe even longer. So it has been a definite inspiration for Windhelm, but we are getting close to running out of time, so we can go through the rest of these nominations on another day and talk about it and talk about Windhelm a little bit more. But to wrap things up, I wanted to bring up some frequently asked questions that we've been asked recently, so we can finally answer them. And the first one being, what do we do for work? So I'll answer that. So besides being incredible video game developers, we own 3 businesses together. The main one being Norwin Labs, which is what we're using to develop and publish Windhelm through. On top of that, Norwin Labs is also a technology and software development company. So some things that we do, we make websites and we host websites for different companies and different people and that type of thing. So that's one of our businesses. Another one is called N&N Aerial and Real Estate Photography, and that is self-explanatory. We do aerial and real estate photography, and that's something that we do together, and it's really fun. It's really fun work. And then we also own Kirsten Litz Photography, which is my photography business that was acquired by Norwin Labs recently. So that is also self-explanatory. I'm just a paid professional photographer. On top of that, I also work in event and sales marketing, and that is my day job. So on to you.
And well, yeah, we do a few things.
We stay busy.
Yeah. So also, for me, throughout the week, I do software development. So as you know already, I will work on depending on the time of year, what projects I'm on, things like that. Most of the time it's been banking software. I won't say client names just for
probably just leave it at that.
Yeah,
leave it at that.
we'll just
You're a software developer. You work for a software development company. Yeah. And then, so the next question was, what are our roles in the game? Which I believe what they're saying is like, what do we do for the game? So the answer is everything. But
yes.
For me personally, I am the creative director of the game. I don't know if that's my official title or not. I really haven't decided. But what I took the lead on is writing the story. So I wrote the story. I'm currently writing all the different scripts, all the dialogue. If there's text in the game, if you walk up to something and a text box comes up, I wrote it. If there's anything spoken in the game, I wrote it. I came up with the story. It's 100% original from my brain. I came up with all the characters, etc., etc. Other fun stuff that I get to do is I came up with the layout of the map, the layout of the different towns, that kind of thing. I am going to get in the game and actually build the world and build the spaces and help with some character design, all of that fun stuff. That's what I do.
And might I add, she's doing a phenomenal job at these scripts, because we did a reading the other night, and it was just phenomenal. We read it in our characters' voices, and it was just absolutely phenomenal. So I really am looking forward to doing, like, once we actually start doing the voice lines and getting everything recorded and start adding it. It's just going to be a phenomenal time. Look, you all are in for such a treat, like you really are.
Thank you.
It's going to be very exciting. But yeah, so
it's
obviously
been so fun.
What I do for the game, I've the entire world is generated through procedural generation that I have learned through Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine 5.3, it's phenomenal. It really helps with the world creation itself, so you can do like procedural foliage volume, stuff like that. But I'll leave that technical stuff for another video, another day. But obviously I will add all the characters, add everything. I've pretty much made every single system to where they can be like puzzle pieces, so they're like modular, so you can add stuff at any time. I've created all the characters, created the world, the skies, the seas, the enemies, the combat system.
Literally everything.
Pretty much everything that you
have
can
to
see.
understand. It's just the two of us. So if it wasn't written word, it was Gavin who did it.
Yeah. So I've got a quick thing I'd like to add too. So there was this guy, I think it was a comment on YouTube. I might be able to bring it up and add it onto the screen or something. But he was saying, it actually may have been a comment on like a TikTok or something. But he was saying like, how do we know this is going to come out? Like, oh, that's what it was. It was on YouTube. He said this could be another one of those games that say they're going to come out and then it's like a scam or something. Of course, we know our limitations and everything, and I'm not overstepping anything. I'm not saying anything I'm not going to promise to put into the game, because I've made a system that I can put anything in there. It's super easy. Features and stuff like that can be added, but this game is coming out. Like, it's going to happen. It may not happen in October of 2025, which is our initial base game release, but it's still going to come out. Like, I've always wanted to make a game. I mean, I've gotten a lot of it done already. I mean, obviously, clearly, we have like material and stuff that we can show for it, and the TikToks and things like that. It's continually being worked on, but it's like
even more than that. Like, we have, like I mentioned earlier, and we haven't even announced this yet, so it should be a separate thing, but we have Kevin Miller, who's committed to being a character and a voice for us. We have that committed. We have that laid down. We have other voice actors committed to being characters. We are literally so close, like probably by the end of this year, we are actually going to start being in the studio filming our voice lines. Like, it's so silly when I see stuff like that. It's honestly insulting and hurtful when I see stuff like that, because we've put so much work into it. we're both so passionate about it. Like, it's gonna come out. It's not. No, this is not a scam. This is not something like that. It's coming out no matter what. Like, whether we have backers or not, frankly. So.
Yeah, it's not even like we put too much time and money and effort into it. It's like, I want it to come out, and I want it just to be a game that anybody.
It's your dream. It's
your
dream.
I want just the industry has been really terrible recently, and it's just like, companies are talking about adding like or games that are charging by the hour of gameplay.
Stop.
Not even like what. It's charging by the hour of gameplay and not like a $70 price point anymore. Obviously, $69.99 is a lot for a game. That's not what Windhelm costs. We actually lowered the price too. We talked about that.
Well, we won't announce any prices yet, but yeah, we're already discussing all that.
But yeah, so the industry's just been really bad lately, and everybody's just trying to pinch pennies where they can. And it's like, yeah, I get that stuff's rising in costs and things like that, studio time, people need more money, inflation, stuff like that. But since it's just us two, we can do what we want, and we are creative.
To an extent, but yeah.
Yeah, we are creative. We can figure out ways to make assets and things that we need.
We're having fun.
Yeah, we're having a good time doing it.
So yeah, anyways, to answer that person's question, it's coming out, so the end.
Yeah.
Nope, you're wrong. It's not a scam, it's coming out. But so we have reached the end of our time, and thank you everyone for listening. If you want to learn more about the game, you can visit its Steam page, Windhelm on Steam. You can visit our Instagram pages at Windhelm Dev. Same for TikTok. We have a YouTube, which is Norwind Labs. We also have a Norwind Labs Instagram, and I think we have a Norwind Labs TikTok. I don't know. I don't remember. But check out the game. You can save the game on Steam. There is a GoFundMe if you would like to back the game, and we are going to make a separate video talking about what you would get as a backer. If you would like to do that, that'd be cool. But anyways, for now, we will see you next time.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you. Love you.